So, why didn't we teach our kids Polish before we come to Poland? It's a hot topic. We did a video recently and we talked about our kids coming to Poland, how they're integrating into life in the school and in the community without speaking the language and how it was affecting us and etc. etc. And it got a lot of attention. You got a lot of stick.
I've been getting the stick for years for not teaching the kids how to speak Polish.
I've been trying to defend your honour with text messages, but the problem with replying to people, we don't love to reply to people, and let's get one thing clear first. We like all sorts of comments, whether they're positive or negative. We're not saying we're right about everything, and sometimes, people can say something that makes you think and you learn. So we don't mind the comments. But sometimes when we reply to comments or we read comments, you misinterpret them, don't you? You think someone might be having a dig and they're not really having a dig. You might send a message back and they might think you're having a dig, but you're not really having a dig. So we thought we'd do a video, talk about it.
Openly and honestly.
And honestly. And I'm sure you'll comment. And if we offend you or you offend us, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make you right. It doesn't make us right. It doesn't make you wrong or us wrong.
No,
it's
I
just
don't
opinions,
really
isn't it?
go on YouTube. What kind of comments did we get? Oh, are they
You're
really
lazy.
bad? Oh.
How can the Polish woman be so lazy and not teach her kids Polish? What are you thinking about? Why? And someone said, why are you crying and moaning and whinging? I don't think we cried or moaned and whinged at all, actually. I thought it was quite a nice story about how well they'd integrated. Adapted. So people see things differently. We all see things differently. A lot of people say, I don't want to judge you, but... That always makes me laugh because it's always a judgment, and there's nothing wrong with that. Human beings always judge. We can't
always
help
have opinions.
it. Yeah, it's an opinion, and your opinions help us improve this channel as well. Because when we get these opinions come through, judgmental or not, we learn from it. So keep them coming. But back on topic. Why didn't we teach them Polish?
Lazy. I think we were just really, really lazy, both of us.
I don't
with
agree.
me, yeah, I think so. I think, we often say you become the product of the 5 people that you spend your time with, and we didn't really spend much time within the Polish community in England. So all our friends were mainly English. Everybody that we were spending our time with was English. The kids were going into an English school, speaking English. I mean, when they were in the private nursery, they would come back home at about 5 o'clock in the evening because we were both working. And then it is literally dinner, bath, sleep time. Well, and because you're English, it was just easy to speak English.
See, I don't see it as being lazy at all. I see it as 2 reasons. One, we wasn't thinking about coming to Poland, so learning a language wasn't that important because, as you said, we was around English people predominantly. They was in English school, we speak English, and it never seemed that important to us. Secondly, we put a lot more emphasis on other things with them, playing with them, being with them, educating them about life, educating them how to be confident people.
How to have common sense.
How to have common sense,
How to think and not what to think, because I think it's a common trait in people, in Polish people, I mean everywhere, but what I noticed is that parents very often teach their kids what to think and not how to think.
And not how to think.
Yeah,
and
they're very opinionated. They very open about what they think about people, about life, and about people's behaviors and stuff.
Our kids are independent thinkers. I mean, our Lucy, she is such a problem solver. If she wants something, she will just do it and she'll work it out and she'll come to us and she will literally be, I did this, but this is how I did it. And she's amazing, isn't she? But
brilliant.
We put time and effort into helping her with that, rather than sit there, right, okay, you've got to read a textbook now and you've got to learn this language that at the time you possibly would use a handful of times a year. We feel that she has benefited so much more from the input we give her about her creativity, her way of thinking, her problem solving. And little Lukey, he's only 3, but he's just such an entertainer, isn't he? He's such a confident boy.
He just loves making people laugh, and It's just wonderful, and we thought that he was going to be a really slow talker, didn't we?
We
And
did,
then
yeah.
it just went whoosh. His
Yeah.
speech has come out so nicely.
Someone said one of the comments about the communication is such an important thing, and I agree. And they was actually talking about different languages, and I get what they were saying. But our kids are probably, I would wager, the best communicators, certainly in the English school, out of all of the kids. They were just fantastic. It was on another level, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And now we've been in Poland, and they're actually picking up the language. Their communication skills are just, they're teaching the Polish kids English, and our kids are so confident that they can walk in to a school now that they don't really understand the language and teach the other kids English. Now, if we hadn't put that effort into them and building them up and showing them a different way of living to what they was taught at school, I don't think they would be as confident as what they are. And that was our whole philosophy, or been our whole philosophy. The school is the educator of the academics, and we are the educator of the things in life that really matter.
Yeah.
If you've got a kid and your kid is a grade A student, but they've got no confidence, they don't know how to talk to people, they don't know how to negotiate. Our Lucy, what a negotiator.
Oh my God.
I've never seen
You
a
always
kid.
lose weight, man. You've got such a soft spot for that little girl.
She wraps me around her little fingers. This kid is just
No,
bang
Lucy,
on.
I will not play with you. No, Lucy, I've got so much to do. I really have to get on with it. Fine,
Okay,
just for
Lucy.
5 minutes.
Yeah. And these are the skills we want to teach our kids. Negotiating, being able to negotiate is one of the best skills you will ever learn, because you can be a grade A student, you can have degrees. If you can't negotiate a decent wage, if you can't negotiate a deal, then you're always going to be behind other people. Even kids like ours that maybe are a little bit slower with the language, haven't been taught the language, if they can negotiate, and they can negotiate really well, they're gonna skyrocket. So we really, really think differently to a lot of people.
We've always been different, and you know what? Back to the critics. I've been criticized for the last 13 years for the fact that I'm not teaching the kids Polish and stuff. And even when we're here, and we very strict on speaking English to the kids, so that English stays with them, because now they are thrown into the Polish community. They speak English, they speak Polish, they hear Polish all the time and stuff. I don't want them to forget the English, and we get criticized for speaking English at home. So you just can't keep people happy. I just gave up. I mean, there was this time, I will never ever forget. I had this friend, and I went to Lidl with my daughter. She's 13 at the moment, and there was a massive queue, and I forgot to buy the eggs. So I said to my daughter Elizabeth in English, "Can you go and get the eggs? This is the number of the ale. This is where you find." Oh my goodness, did she have a go at me in front of everybody? Oh my God, Aga, you must teach them Polish. This is not on. She should be speaking Polish. You should be speaking Polish to her. Why do you say that in English? In front of everybody. And I thought, my mom doesn't speak to me like that. But then I thought, I'm going to keep my shit together, because you're working here, and I could really have a go at you and tell you what I think and how we're all different, but I'm going to be a bigger person. And I was fuming, and you were saying, I'm so lucky that you were not with me at the time, because you would really...
I would have gone for her in maybe a way wouldn't be kind. And, this isn't me being big-headed or anything like this, but at a particular time, we was running a company that was turning over a few £1 million, about 100 to 120 employees. We had a gym, we had all sorts of things in our life business-wise.
We made sure that the kids always had a fresh meal cooked. We didn't do the crap with the chicken nuggets every day and stuff. We always had time for the kids. So we had the rule that we work really hard until 3 o'clock. But then we pick the kids from school and we spend the quality time, the family time.
And this was coming from a person that was a checkout assistant in Lidl, no disrespect to checkout assistants in Lidl, but didn't have half of the things going on in their life as we had in ours. When you're managing 100+ people, that's really hard. It's really time consuming. It's really tiring. So for us to come home and then put the amount of effort we did into our kids for their outside school education, I don't think it's lazy, Aga. I can't see where you're coming with that. Yeah, it may be lazy in respect to the language, but look at what they've achieved.
You know, that's what I've been told for all this time. And when you hear something consistently, you start thinking, maybe they're right.
I don't think so. And let me tell you another thing that I noticed with my kids as well. My kids are probably the only kids in their nursery that understand what Bitcoin is. You know? if Luke walks in and starts talking about Bitcoin, the other kids will just look at him like,
what is it?
What is that?
He wants to have 10.
He wants 10 Bitcoin.
He wanted to have 10 Bitcoins for like a year and a half now, and it's consistent.
2 years old, he wants to have Bitcoins. If I put YouTube on and Michael Saylor's talking or Raoul Powell's talking about investment in Bitcoin, he's like, haha, Bitcoin. He knows, and he sits there and he watches it. He doesn't obviously get everything that's going on, but it's switching his mind to investments. He's talking about these little things, so when he gets a little bit older, it will be quite natural for him and her to understand how important this is. Now the other kids, they don't know this.
They don't need to know it.
They do. It's never too young to start teaching your kids about investing. I wish I was taught about investing when I was a kid. I wish I didn't come out of school and just spend every penny I got, because that's what I thought you were supposed to do. Work, earn, spend. If someone had actually sat down like we do with our kids and teach them the importance of money, how to manage money, how to invest money, what are good investment vehicles.
Lucy is amazing. I mean, she's what, 5.5?
She made money here in Poland quicker than we did.
Yeah. We had this, my mum and dad were doing the housewarming party, and we had about 20 people in the house. And Lucy has come up with the idea that she's going to do the, what are them bracelets called? Lumibands bracelets. So she started going to her uncles and aunties that she hasn't seen for
without speaking the language.
Without speaking the language. She learned the phrase. She said, zrobię ci bransoletkę. People started giving her money, so she was making 20 zlotych per bracelet, then it was 50 zlotych, then it was 80
She's a good
zlotych.
negotiator.
She made over 300 zlotych in one evening just by making the bracelets. Now the nice thing is,
we didn't even know, did we?
No. The nice thing is, because we have done this really good training ages ago, it's the Secrets of the Millionaire's Mind.
Yeah.
They're coming to Krakow, so if anybody lives close to Krakow and wants to do the seminar with them, I highly recommend it. It's brilliant. I don't know if it's done in English or Polish, and we need to find out, but we will definitely look into it. So we basically were taught how to manage the money, and we used to have the jars, and we would explain to kids how to manage the money. Little Lucy, she earned 300 zlotych, over 300 zlotych in that one evening, and we said that she could spend. She wouldn't spend it. She only spent a little bit. She bought something for herself. She bought a little car for her friend who helped her settle in at school. It was just lovely. Yeah. It was just wonderful. And then she saved the rest of the money, and she still has some. And
that made me so proud, because she got this money, and it's a lot of money for a child. And it was funny because she was hiding the money in the drawer, wasn't she? She wasn't telling us she was making this money.
She was putting it in the safe place.
She was putting it in the safe place. And I opened this drawer and I see all this money in there. Where's this money come from?
My money.
Turns out, my money, Daddy. I've earned that. I've been selling bracelets to the family. Oh, Lucy. So she's got 300 zloty. And it was just so nice that she didn't want to spend it all on herself. A lot of kids, they'll just go, I want to buy a toy, I want to buy sweets, whatever. I'm going to buy a little thing. And she said, Daddy, there's this little boy in school and he's really looked after me. He knows I don't speak the language and he's really helping me. I want to buy him a car. Yeah. And she bought him a little car, and she took
wanted
that
to spend quite a lot on the Minecraft figure. She did, yeah. We said, Lucy, we just got in here.
It's
I don't know the dynamic between...
We don't know the parents. We don't want to go in with a really expensive thing. A little car, he's going to be really grateful for it. So she was okay. She accepted that. She gave him the car to say thank you. And the rest she wants to save. And, you know, I'm not saying that, I'm not sitting here saying, you know, we are exactly right, 100%, we get everything right.
Oh, no.
We just want to talk about our thought process around how we educate our kids and why it wasn't so important for us for them to learn Polish. You can't do everything. And if learning language is the most important thing for you and your kids, great. That's fantastic. Knock yourself out. Do that. I don't have a problem with that, you know. But for us, we just see, we pay the school a lot of money. You teach them the academics, we're going to teach them the rest. And I think it's worked out well for us. Yes, there was that initial heartache when we first come here and we hadn't taught them Polish, and you do question yourself, should we have done that? You know, we're pushing them in to the lion's den in a way. They're two English kids without any knowledge of the language, but because of their ages, they're like sponges. They're just like sponges. You know, Lucy, she walks around this house and she sings the Polish national anthem.
Which is not an easy song to sing.
And she loves that song,
She
doesn't
loves
she?
that song. You started singing it.
I got it in my mash the Polski. It's just, it's in my brain as well because she sings it so much, but she sings it so well, and she's got the ability now to roll her R's and get the sounds out. I haven't quite got that ability yet.
My mum was commenting the other day how well she speaks and how much she knows.
Yeah. And Aga's mum and dad, when we go and visit them, they talk to the kids now in Polish. And Luke and Lucy, they understand it. And they've only been in school 3 months.
Yep.
So, you know, for us in England, it just wasn't important because we wasn't thinking of coming here. I think if we'd have planned ahead, maybe a little bit more, we might have sat down and taught them a little bit. I don't know. But it certainly hasn't been a negative thing, has it?
No, I mean, how did you settle? Because you didn't speak any Polish when we came here.
I think with me, it's been a frustrating time because I'm having to second guess everybody, second guess what's being said. I can see how tiring it was for you when you was having to translate everything, and how difficult it was for you to literally have a conversation with this person and a conversation with me and push it backwards. But it's getting easier. You know, quite often I say to you, you're talking about this now, and you're talking about that, and you say, yeah, I am, because I can recognise a lot of the words, and the speed of the words is kind of, it's slowing down for me now. I kind of getting the difference.
You're also getting used to the voices and to how people speak.
Yeah.
Because I've got hearing problems, and I always struggle to listen to somebody who I don't know. And after a while, you just get used to it.
You just get used to it. And I honestly thought all Polish people were arguing all the time because the voices would go and
they're just getting pizza. They can't agree on what kind of pizza they get.
It's kicking off here. Oh dear, I'm backing off, thinking there's going to be a fight. But it wasn't. And I've got used to that now as well. So I'm being more conscious to try to listen. At first, I probably wasn't even listening to people, really, if I'm being honest with you. I was just waiting for you to tell me what they said. That was the wrong thing to do. Now I'm trying to listen to people, to actively think, okay, can I pick that word out? Can I pick that word out? Yeah, okay, I can. I think they're talking about this. And a lot of times I'm getting it right. I'm just not massively confident or able to then say something back and have that conversation. But
I was really proud of you last week because there was something with the English lessons that you did, and you couldn't do it or whatsoever, and your first instinct was, can you let our friend know that you can't do it? I was coming out, and then you were like, no, don't worry, I will do it. And I thought, that's so good, that's such a great improvement.
Yeah, it is an improvement.
Such a great progress that you push yourself to try to do it rather than just telling me to do it.
I know. Initially when I was here, it'd be, Aga do this, you know, because I just felt I can't do it. And what happened was I was teaching a young boy English, and his dad was due to bring him to the house. But we could build us in, and it's messy, so we was going to go to the brother-in-law's house to do it. And my initial response was, Aga, phone Arta, tell him, you know, not to come to the house, come to this house, sort it out. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
And you did it.
I did it, got it sorted, everything worked out well, and it was a nice little lesson. So I'm making progress. Not as quickly as Luke and Lucy,
No.
but, you know, what can you say? It's, as you get older, I think it just is a bit harder. But it's a challenge. And so many people see this as a problem. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a challenge. And if you challenge yourself every day to just try and be a little bit better, eventually, over a period of time, all these little improvements add up to something really great. And one day, we can do these videos in Polish. I'm convinced one day I'll be able to do these videos in Polish. I would love to sit down and just do a whole video with you in Polish.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
It might not be perfect Polish, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Just something. And I think that would be absolutely wonderful. So every day I am working, I am learning. I'm trying to have a lesson every day, 10 to 20 minutes, and it's getting there. It's slowly getting
So,
there.
you know, like, I mean, we've been getting the stick for a really long time. And when we were in England...
I don't get the stick, you get
I
the stick.
don't.
You're the lazy
yeah,
one.
but I get the stick now because of many things.
Yeah.
It's like constant. I could just be beaten up and stuff. But it's fine. I think it would really affect me in the past, but I've gone through such a journey of learning to respect myself, to do what I want to do, not to fall into what people want me to do and so on, that I've got a completely different approach. But what would, like, we are being called lazy now because I don't speak Polish to you. And one of the reasons why your progress with the language is so slow is because you don't get to speak to many people in Polish. You don't get to practice. And we work from home. We don't go out much. We're not around other people that much and stuff. So what would you call us not speaking Polish in the house now? Is that laziness as well?
No, I think it's sensible because I don't want Luke and Lucy to fall behind with their English. At the moment, Luke and Lucy, they're top of the class. You know, they're English. They've walked into a Polish school. They're top
We're
of the
having
class.
to pay for English lessons for them, for attending
Yeah,
English school.
we have to pay for them to go to English. They know English better than the teachers, and I'm not being disrespectful for the teachers, but they do, don't they? It's just, you can have a conversation with my kids just about anything. They're such great communicators, and it's just a gift they've got. So they're top of the class, and I don't want them to fall back. You know, this isn't me being snobby or anything. This is just common sense. English is a very important language. English is predominantly spoken. Most businesses, most corporations have English or need English speakers. If you've got a business and you want to expand into other countries and you can speak English, it opens up a lot of doors. So, you know, whilst being here, obviously Polish is incredibly important for them to learn it because they're going to build a life here in Poland. There is also a world outside of Poland, which is an English-speaking world, so I don't want them to fall back.
No.
So if we continue to speak English in the home, they will continue to learn, and we'll have bilingual children. I will become bilingual, but I always want to speak English here with the kids.
I agree.
You know, obviously with friends and family around, that's different. You know, we'll all speak Polish, which will be lovely for us all to do that. But in our own little comfort, I think English is the way forward. And I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into our thinking. She's not lazy. She is an absolutely brilliant, fantastic mother. You are. She is.
Thank
the
you.
love and the attention and the care she gives for our kids far outweighs anything I do. I'm the fun one. I'm the one who plays with them. I just chuck them around and tickle them and do all these things and teach them about Bitcoin. You do all the motherly stuff.
The boring stuff, the
boring
messy stuff.
Yeah. If they want fun, they come to me. If they want care and love and kisses and that, they generally go to you. As soon as they've hurt themselves, no, I want my mummy, you know.
And I'm always there with my arms open.
She is. She's honestly, she's a wonderful mother. And, you know, like I said, if you are still of the opinion the language thing is the most important thing and you don't get anything we've said, it's okay. You're welcome to comment on it. Continue teaching your kids English, Polish, whatever it is you want to teach them. There's no right or wrong way. When you're parents, we'll finish on this bit, there's no manual.
No.
There is no manual that says, here is your newborn child, Follow these instructions from A to Z and you will have the perfect kid. We all make it up as we go along. We do. Some people will give us advice, some people will try and help, but ultimately it's our responsibility for our kids as it's your responsibility for your kids. Just do your best. And as long as you do your best, that's all you can do.
Yep.
It's okay. I think that's quite good.
Yep.